Hi there, so I'm Rita Crosbie and I'm one half of SOUNDbeings, and I just thought I'd just take a few moments really just to talk to you a little bit about sound healing. Some of you might be very clued up on it and other people mightn't have a clue what it's all about, and some people I guess who've maybe never experienced it might think, well, how can some gongs actually start to make you feel relaxed or make you feel better? So these are the two smallest gongs that we've got in our collection, and all the gongs in our collection are actually pasty planet gongs. All sound absolutely amazing and beautiful, and of course everybody's hearing range is very personal, very unique to them. So what everybody hears is actually very personal, and what everybody experiences is very personal too. So for those of you that maybe don't know a lot or anything at all about sound healing, I just want to talk to you just a little bit about, maybe to just clarify a few things. So everybody is a sound healer, and I know some people might go, how so? Well, we all speak to people in a very specific way. If people are upset or stressed, you know, if somebody's crying and upset, we don't go screaming at them, oh, you'll be okay, do we? We don't do that, you know. We alter the tone of our voice to really sort of convey concern, to convey care, to offer support. And the same is true, of course, when people are angry. You know, there's that real sort of power in that voice and that intention for people to cause harm and hurt. And we've all said at some point, I've got no doubt, it's not what you said, it's the way that you said it. So I could say to everybody today, oh, hello, or I can go, oh, hello. And it's exactly the same phrase, but of course the tone actually infers something completely different. So we're natural sound healers in as much as we will sing to babies, or if we see an animal we really like, or a beautiful sunset, you know, it'll be like, oh, you know, we all respond very naturally with sound, with frequency in what we give, and we also respond very personally and very naturally to whatever we receive. And when we talk about sound therapy, it's really more about frequency therapy. It's less about what you hear and more about the frequencies that interact with the body. So the beautiful gongs that we have and the Tibetan singing bowls we use have sort of three primary frequencies. Well, they have a million frequencies, but they have sort of probably three frequency sort of titles, let's put it that way, that you could think of. So there's the fundamental, which is what we would think of as the note. Then there's the harmonic, and then there's something that's called the overtone. So regardless of which gong it is, or what singing bowl it is, as long as they're healing grade bowls, they will all have this three waveform, and each waveform has a different shape. So the note might look like this, and then the harmonic might look like this, and then the overtone might look a bit like this. So they're all very different shapes if they were to be measured with a lot electronic frequency measurements. And what that actually does together, it's about that combination of that pattern of the frequency of those wave patterns. They interact with our brain waves. Whether we want them to or not, they're just going to do that automatically, and they will actually take those brain waves here. We've all got a brain. I know we might not all use it all, but we've all got a brain. So it actually takes those brainwaves down to the delta and the theta state. And they are the brainwaves, they are the states that we're in when we're in deep relaxation and when we're in sleep. So the body becomes very relaxed and our autoimmune system starts to kick in. And it actually starts to trigger repair mechanisms in our body, and it actually quietens the mind down. So before we even start about adding an intention, which of course is energy itself, the actual frequencies that are emitted from these beautiful beings here and the singing bowls actually do have a very beneficial effect on this physicality. And of course, the more we come to understand this physicality, the more that science and all of us understand that this too is a frequency that every single aspect of our being is just a vibratory frequency, resonating to varying degrees to be able to interact in the resonant frequency around us. There's some amazing things on YouTube and on the internet where people have sort of put electrodes on plants, and sort of then change those frequencies into notes, so it's almost, we can hear the plants singing. So every single one of us emits a frequency, and we also respond to frequencies as does nature, as does all the plants and animals. Anything that's a sentient being, anything that has a life force, is actually just this beautiful, amazing, energetic being. So when you come to one of our gatherings, whether it's a small group, which the activation sessions tend to be, they are quite intense, and we'll talk a little bit more about them in a different video, or you come to a big gathering, what you're going to be immersed in is the beautiful healing frequencies of both the gongs and the Tibetan bowls, and what we call the sound of being. And the sound of being is what we use ourselves. It's actually to resonate our own cells and our own being. The beautiful skeletal system that we have is the most amazing acoustic instrument that we have for our body. So we can intentionally resonate a sound, a frequency, through this skeletal system that is actually going to cause every cell in our being to vibrate and resonate, and actually start to readdress some imbalances and start to bring about a personal harmony. So in a group gathering, we'll all get round together and we do some light meditation, we do some toning, which again there's a video all about that, which is very simple. It's not Canadian Idol or American Idol or UK Idol. Nobody has to sing. It's just about resonating that body. So we all benefit both from our own resonant frequency, and we benefit from being in this beautiful collective, because truly we are one. And we're not just all connected, we are all one. We're all in this beautiful harmonic of the universe, really, and everybody's an amazing, unique and perfect instrument, and when we come together we can create the most amazing healing symphony. And that's really the intention of the gatherings that we have, regardless of the size. And we've had hundreds of people, and we do one-to-one sessions as well, and everything in between. And it's a very, very powerful, very, very personal and very unique experience. And then of course everybody can lay down and relax and be bathed and absorbed and journey and relax and bring some personal harmony to their own healing and their own mental well-being with the gongs and the bowls. When we talk about mental well-being, there's a lot of talk, and rightly so right now, about bringing mental health into the forefront, into the conversation. It's not a word I like to use, conversation, because it's become a bit of a buzzword, but if it gets the message across, then let's use that. People have still got these ideas about mental health, about these compartments that, you've got a mental health issue if you've got something that we can label. That depression can be measured between these things, and that person's depressed and that person isn't, or this person's stressed and that person isn't. And it's not as simple as that. We've all got mental capacities to greater or lesser degrees, so therefore we all need to look after our mental health, and anything that causes us to feel anxious or fearful or uncomfortable or angry, then our mental health is being affected, because we're not harmonious, we're not balanced, we're not feeling calm. And as you'll learn in the other video that you'll see Phil and I talking about together, we haven't been living the top of a beautiful mountain chanting Om all day. We have lived in the real world, and we do live in the real world. So we know that these techniques and this understanding benefits everybody who, is whatever job you're doing and whatever environment that you're in. So when we talk about our mental health and mental well-being, this